The most dangerous software engineer in the room is not the junior who asks too many questions. It's not the person who does not know that framework. It's not even the person who makes mistakes. The most dangerous software engineer in the room is often the one who sounds the most certain. You know this person. They have a strong opinion about everything. Architecture, testing, microservices, monoliths, agile, pull requests, cloud, AI, naming things, probably even the coffee machine. And the annoying part is, they are often not stupid. They may be smart, they may be experienced. They may have seen real systems fail in production. That is exactly why people listen to them. But then something quiet happens. Juniors stop asking questions. Mid-level engineers stop offering alternatives. Seniors stop pushing back because they are tired of the debate. Product people stop bringing early ideas because every rough thought gets attacked before it can develop. And slowly, the team starts confusing silence with agreement. And that, my friends, is the real danger. Not strong opinions. Strong opinions are useful. I would be worried if a senior engineer had no opinions at all. If you have been in software engineering long enough, you should have some scars. You have seen rewrites fail, you have seen temporary solutions live for 5 years, and you have seen clean architecture become 6 layers of paint spaghetti. Those experiences matter. But here is the line. Experience should give you opinions. It should not make you allergic to evidence. Because the moment your opinion cannot be questioned anymore, it stops being engineering judgment. It becomes identity protection. And that is where teams get into a bit of trouble. At first, the dangerous engineer says reasonable things like, I have seen this fail before, I am worried about this approach, this reminds me of a problem we had in my previous team. That is a useful context. But then the language changes. This never works, only bad teams do this, no serious engineer would choose that framework is trash, microservices are always a mistake, tests slow us down, we need tests for everything. Now we are no longer talking about trade-offs. We are talking about dogma. And dogma is lazy engineering wearing seniority as a jacket. Bad experience in one team, one company, one architecture, at one moment in time gets turned into fake law of nature. Something failed once. Maybe it failed because the team was inexperienced, maybe ownership was unclear, maybe leadership wanted magic with no budget, who knows. But years later, that experience comes back as universal truth. And suddenly, every new idea gets judged through an old wound. And that is the dangerous version of experience. You are not bringing wisdom into the room anymore. You are bringing trauma and calling it best practice. And yeah, I'm saying this because I have done it too. Most of us have. You get burned by something once, and the next time you see something similar, your brain goes, no, wait a bit, I know this movie, I know how it ends. And sometimes you are right, but sometimes you are just, pattern matching too aggressively. The risk is different. The constraints are different, and if you cannot slow down enough to notice that, your experience stops helping. It starts distorting the discussion. So, how do you recognize dangerous confidence in a real meeting? First sign, speed. Someone reacts before they understand. The idea is barely on the table and they already know why it will fail. Second sign, absolute language. This never works, nobody good does this, this is obviously wrong. Third sign, the room gets smaller. People start phrasing everything more carefully. They look around before speaking. They stop offering half-formed thoughts and thinking out loud. And that matters because software teams do not only need correct answers. They need shared thinking. A quiet engineer may notice the edge case. A junior may ask the question everyone else is avoiding because it sounds stupid. A product person may know the constraint that changes the whole solution. But if the room punish uncertainty, those things stay hidden. And then later, when the decision fails, someone says, well, nobody raised concerns. But maybe they did. Maybe they just learned that speaking up was too expensive. This is why dangerous confidence is so costly. It does not just create bad decisions. It creates fake sense of alignment. It creates meetings where people nod, then disagree privately. It creates technical discussions that look settled in the room and fall apart during implementation. So what should you do if you work with this person? Do not say you are too opinionated. That will just become another debate. Make the feedback specific. Say, your concern about the risk was valid, but the way it landed made it hard for others to keep exploring ideas. Or, when you said this never works, I think the room heard it as the end of the discussion, not as one concern to evaluate. Or even simpler, you can go with, your experience is really useful here, but we need you to leave more space for other people to think out loud. That is much harder to dismiss because you are not attacking their intelligence. You are naming the effect they have on the room. And if you are the opinionated engineer, here is the self-check. Before you push too hard, ask 3 questions. Am I reacting to this situation or to something that hurt me before? Have I understood the actual concern, or am I finding the shortcut version in my head? And what would change my mind? That last one is brutal, because if the answer is nothing, then this is probably not engineering judgment anymore. It's ego with better vocabulary. The goal is not to have weaker opinions. Please have opinions. Teams need engineers with taste, scars, judgment, and standards. The goal is to make your opinions inspectable. Instead of saying this never works, say, I have seen this fail when ownership was unclear, and you are good to go. That is the skill. Strong opinions, loosely held. Say what you believe, explain why you believe it, name the context where that belief came from, name the trade-off you are worried about, and then leave enough space for other people to add information. Because your job is not to be the smartest person in the room. Your job is to make the room smarter, not smaller. If your opinion helps people think more clearly, it's useful. If your opinion makes people shut down, defend themselves, or stop contributing, it may still be technically correct, but it's socially expensive. And socially expensive ideas are not free. They create silence, they create fake agreement, they create teams that stop thinking together, all the things we discussed already. So I think the best software engineers are not the ones who are always right. They are the ones who can be wrong without making the whole room pay for it. If this made you think of someone from your team or maybe of yourself, tell me in the comments. Where is the line between useful confidence and dangerous confidence? And if you want more honest conversations about real software engineering, subscribe to Software Engineering Tales. Thanks for watching, and see you with the next one.